boys and girls. We wanted to do a quick video to help you with introducing you to graphing on a coordinate plane, as well as giving you some vocabulary that should help you to be successful with today's lesson. So, as you see here, what you are looking at is quadrant 1 of a coordinate plane. So as you look at today's video, please feel free to take notes. You can pause this video as many times as you need to or replay any parts of it that you find is helpful. Okay, so again, this is quadrant 1. All right, another bit of helpful information that you may need is that on our quadrant 1, this information here, these numbers, okay, they lie on what you call the x-axis, okay? And the x-axis always comes first when you read a graph. Always comes first. Great. The next very important thing that we want to identify is on the other side of that, which is these coordinates over here. And that lies on the y-axis. Okay? And that comes second. Okay, great. Now, something that you want to take note of is in quadrant 1, you have positive numbers in your x and y axis. Okay? So, what we want to do is if we are plotting on a coordinate plane, like I mentioned before, your x-axis always comes first. So, let's dive into what that would look like. They're called ordered pairs. Okay, let's start plotting some ordered pairs. And again, taking some notes, they're always going to come first in x coordinates and then y coordinates. Okay? So let's just say I wanted to first plot 4 and 7. Okay? So to successfully do that, I would first need to make sure that I'm going to look along my x-axis because, like I mentioned before, the x-axis always comes first in an ordered pair. So I'm going to look along my x-axis until I have successfully located 4 on the x-axis, and I know that my my dot is going to lie somewhere along this line. Now, what I'm going to do second is I'm going to find 7 on the y-axis, okay? So now looking along 7, what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a yellow line along the 4. Okay, great. And now I'm going to go along the y-axis and I'm going to find 7. And I'm going to meet. Now at the point that the 4 from my x-axis and the 7 from my y-axis meets is where I could plot my point successfully. This is where I can plot for 7. Okay, so that's what that would look like. So let's try another one. I'm going to take it all out so the graph is clear. Let's try plotting 3, 8. Okay. So again, let's follow those steps again. the first thing that we want to do is locate 3 on the x-axis. Here we go. And I want to put my points where 3 and 8 meet. So 3 on my x-axis and 8 on my y-axis, okay? So it's going to be somewhere along here. So here's the 3 on the x-axis, but now I want to find where 8 meets the 3, and here it would be. I'm going to plot my points, and what I want to do is just take a second and double check. Here's 3, and here's 8. Yes, and that is correct. And I'm going to now just plug in the points so I can identify that that point is 3, comma 8. All right, let's just try one more very quickly. Let's try the ordered pair of 5 and 6. Okay, so we have to be mindful because if we don't start with the right axis, we're going to end up plotting the wrong point. So again, I'm going to start my x-axis 5. So I know it's going to be along this line. 5, somewhere here. 5. But now I have to go over to my y-axis and find where 5 and 6 meets. Here it is. So I'm going to see 5 and 6. I'm going to plot my points, but I'm going to take a second and double check. 5 on my x-axis, that's correct. 6 on my y-axis, that's correct. Great. Excellent. That works. So this is how you go about plotting coordinates on, or plotting ordered pairs on a coordinate plane. Okay, so now what I want to do is just quickly show you how we use exactly the same idea. But in reverse. So let's just say I plotted a point on here. I'm going to just plot a couple of points for you. Just say this red point, and I'm going to plot this green point over here, and this orange point right here. So first let's start by looking at our red point. We're going to do exactly the same thing. I could plot an ordered pair by identifying my x and my y axis exactly the same way. So looking at my red dot, moving along the x-axis, I first identify that this red dot lies along 3 on the x-axis. Okay, so I can start plugging that in. Okay, so that's 3 on the x-axis and 7 along the y-axis. That point lies on 3, comma 7. And there we go. We have identified that coordinate for the red dot. Now let's try doing it for the green dot. Okay, so again, we always start with the x-axis. That lies on 5 as the x coordinate. And now it lies on the 3 for the y coordinate. Here we go. So that point is 5, comma 3. All right. And very, very quickly, for the last, we have our orange. Let's see if we can finish that one. That one lies on 1, There we go. One for my